Hello, traders, and happy holidays. I'm going to be giving you guys just a quick covered call strategy that you can do that if you're watching this in December 2024, that you can do to make some money. And if you're watching this post December 2024, you can just do these exact same strategies on similar markets. Let's go in. Why is it that covered calls on Polymarket are just so much better? The main reason is no fees. There are no fees when you trade this market. And due to the fact that there are no fees, your ROI is already going to be a lot larger. Two, Polymarket is frequently mispriced as well. Three, it's very liquid. As you can see, there's typically about a 1 cent difference, or sometimes a 2 cent difference, or even a 30 penny difference. And because of that, it's very liquid. It's very easy to get into a position. It's very easy to get out. So those three reasons make it pretty good for a covered call. Now, what a covered call is essentially when you buy spot Bitcoin. So you buy one asset, you buy one Bitcoin, and at the same time, you make a bet against it going any higher. Usually that involves shorting a call, and that's why it is called a covered call, because your spot position is covering the potential loss from your call. But you can do that on Polymarket as well, and at the same time, not really have a liquidation price. Let's get into it. Now, here are the current prices and what I have just simulated and what we can do. If you were to buy one Bitcoin at the current price, which when I wrote this was 96,000, what would the math be behind this? And you could just use this for any amount. If you buy 0.01, then you would buy 120 shares instead of 12,000, obviously. What would that look like? Okay, so you buy one Bitcoin at 96K. You can do that on any exchange, not too difficult. You can also buy 12,000 shares of no-touch 110K at 83 cents. This will be a little bit tougher because if you were to do this one on Bitcoin, then it's going to be a little bit tougher to get that price. Currently, it is luckily trading on 82, 83, but you could scale into a position at 83 or at worst, just buy up to 85. You could do that and you can see you can get $6,000 worth of a position there. And then you could just wait for after you buy, more limit sell orders will probably come right back in. And then you could go back in again. Again, guys, this is the market of betting no $110,000 on BTC USDT before December 31st at the end of the year Eastern time, quite simply. So with that being said, what would the return be here if we were to pull off this play? Buying one Bitcoin, $96,000, and then buying this as well. Well, if BTC hits 110K and you have a limit sell order at 110,000, you're going to make a profit of $2,000. If you want to know the math on that, first of all, you are going to earn $24,000 because you bought it here and you sold it here, net of fees. You're going to make about $24,000. Now, how much are you going to lose? Well, remember that we bought, $14,000. $14,000. I misspoke. Profit of 2,000 realized because hopefully you caught it, while you're watching this video, like, oh no, it's actually 14,000. Yeah, you would make 14,000. And after you make 14,000, you would also then have a loss of this market here. If we bought 12,000 at 83, as you can see, you would have a loss of 99.60. So what profit would that be? Well, that would be about a $2,000 profit. Now, what if BTC does not hit 110K and you hold it, your BTC? Well, that's pretty good. That means you have a guaranteed profit of $2,000. How did I get that number? Well, we bought 12,000 at 83 cents, right? So if we buy 12,000 at 83 cents, then we are paying 99.60 and our potential return is 12,000. That is a profit of 2,040 or a 20% return by the end of the year, which is pretty good, I will say. So it's a pretty fat covered call, earning you a 20% return in such a short period of time of 10 days, 10.5 days left, or I think a little bit under that. So you're going to make about a $2,040 profit. Okay, so that is one thing that you can do on these covered calls. Now, you do not just have to do it for the 110K. Obviously, you could go farther, but the true value is the covered call at 110K. There's not as much value at 120K. It's quite unlikely we're going to go there by the end of the year, and you're just not going to make that much money if you bet on it, right? That is one thing you can do if you hold Bitcoin and want to do a covered call. And the beauty of this is you could do a strategy called rolling this kind of contract. You could get in, and when Bitcoin does not touch 110K by the end of this month, the end of this year, you could then just take those Polymarket profits and then just layer them into another Bitcoin market of, hey, what price will Bitcoin hit in January? And you could just keep doing this and really just keep running the covered calls. Okay. Now, we can also do this for Ethereum as well. I simulated Ethereum, and it seemed actually even better, but in a different way. So what I simulated was, what if we bought 10 Ethereum at 3,400, and then we also bought 14,000 shares of no all-time high at 96 cents. What does that look like? Well, as you can see here, this is trading at about 96 cents, 96.3 if we want to be very, very exact, a 30 penny difference. Okay. Now, if we do this, if Ethereum does hit 4,868, which is the all-time high, and you sell it at that exact price, you're going to make a profit of 1240 realized. Now, you might notice that, you might be like, wait, wouldn't it be a profit of 1468? No, because you bought 14,000 shares of no all-time high at 96 cents. So what does that mean? Well, that means that you're going to earn the profit of 4868 minus 3,400 where you purchased, times 10 because you bought 10 Ethereum, right? But at the same time, you also purchased this on Polymarket. Now, on Polymarket, if you buy 14,000 shares of no all-time high at 96, then that would be right here. And it's all set up here. If we bought this at 96.3, which would be the price you'd be more likely to get, you'd be paying 13,482. Okay, so you would be making, let's go see here, 13,482. You would be making exactly 11.98. So I'm going to say profit of 11.98, as you can see here. So that would be your realized profit, right? If you sold exactly at 48.68. Not bad. That's 1.2K. And if you want to see actually just the ROI of this, it's going to look not as good, but in a lot of ways, it's actually kind of better. You would earn a 3.84% by the end of the year. But if you want to see why I like that play a lot better, yeah, it's because Ethereum's pretty far away from the all-time high. 48.68 is up here, and that would be a 42% move. So there's a lot of money to be made right now buying no that that's not going to happen at 96.3 because price would have to go up 43%, 42% in 10 days. It could happen, sure, but the odds are not likely, and there are good ways that you can make money from a covered call. So what if Ethereum doesn't hit the all-time high, which it probably won't, and you hold your Ethereum? You're going to make a profit of 518 realized. Now, the true profit that you would make, we might have to recalculate that because it would just be this minus this. Oh, actually, it would be 518. Perfect. You would make a profit of $518 off of a principal of 13,482. So, yep, you would make 518. So, at the same time, you would make 518, but you would still be holding 10 Ethereum no matter where price is. What's the benefit of this? Well, let's say you're bullish on Ethereum. Guess what could happen? Ethereum could go up. You could make money from just Ethereum going up because you bought 10. And let's say at the end of the year, the last price is 3,600. Well, then you're up $2,000. And then on top of that $2,000 price change, you also have just made another 518 just from a cover call. Cover calls are great. They're a really nice way where you can take a spot position and run one of these hedges where over time you just can earn money. If price was just to go sideways, how much would you earn every day just from this? Well, a pretty large return. If you bought 12,000 shares of No Touch at 83, as time goes on, this contract would decay, meaning that this number would get a lot higher and you would make a lot more money on your covered call. So time's working in your favor, essentially. And this can be a really, really nice way. The only scenario where this fails, there's no scenario where you're going to lose money, but there is a scenario where it could just not do as well. The only scenario where this doesn't do as well is if Bitcoin ends up being at like 140,000 by the end of the year. If you think that's a possibility, then obviously do not do a covered call. That'd be an idiotic idea. We only do covered calls if we think that things are overpriced or if we think things are quite unlikely to happen. And that's why this is such a profitable play. Yeah, you can pick other prices as well on Ethereum, but I found the most value, I would say, from this one. And, you can see that right here. We have a nice return. I actually got this at 59. I bought this at 59, and this is probably going to expire to 100%. There's a lot of money to be made on Polymarket, and if you're curious about some of the more hidden strategies, you can join the Discord to learn. Right now, I have a pretty good ROI. This is my account on Poly, making these mathematical cover call plays and stuff like that. And yeah, that's just about going to do it. Hope that this was helpful. Covered call strategies are great because you're hedged both ways. And yeah, happy trading. happy holidays.